So Pokemon Journeys episode 113 just revealed Goh's latest capture, Regieleki. That's right, Goh caught himself yet another legendary Pokemon, and even more substantial, Goh has finally reached what I believe is his ultimate goal for the Journeys series, becoming an official chaser for Project Mew. In this video, I want to share my thoughts on this recent development with Goh and what it means for Pokemon Journeys. Also, Journeys has been showing more of Ash's training with his Journeys Pokemon. Does that make the return of Ash's veteran Pokemon even less likely? Well, I'll share my thoughts on that too, because there is something that is quite interesting. Trust me, you'll want to stick around if you're a Charizard or Infernape fan. And I'll briefly share my views on episode 113 during the process, since I didn't get to that yet. But first, Goh. Honestly, he gets a lot of hate for what he contributes to the series, and I think it's a bit unwarranted when you consider some of the other characters in this series before, like Tracy in the Orange Islands, Iris in the Best Wishes series, Silent in the Best Wishes series, Ash in the Best Wishes, Best Wishes in general had a lot of characters that I was personally not fond of. But that's a different discussion. The point I want to focus on is that Pokemon introduces a lot of characters, and there have been misses. Either the character is very unlikable or the character just doesn't contribute to the story. But I think Goh offers a good amount to the Journeys anime. It might not all be good contributions, but you can tell he plays a big role in the success of Journeys thus far. But if you still think Goh is one of those misses, then sure. But I don't think he's an objectively poor character. I thought his backstory with Mew set up the anticipation of his role in the Journeys anime pretty well. Additionally, his impact on Ash and the dynamic between the two have generally been enjoyable and really pushed the duo to grow as characters in great ways. Goh plays a very supportive role for Ash, always being Ash's guide should Ash stray from the right path. And Ash has had a solid motivational impact on Goh throughout the series. Even more so, Ash's previous companions, most notably Gary, have been utilized masterfully to bring out the best in Goh, which now is a good time to segue into Journeys episode 113. This episode, the last mission, Catch Regieleki and Regidrago, marked the return of Gary and the final Project Mew trial. Considering how rushed the previous mission was when Goh lost to Tokyo on the Sea Marvel by one slow freaking moonblast, I didn't have much expectations for this episode. And yeah, I'm glad I didn't, because this episode was rushed. I don't understand why a legendary feat like catching a legendary Pokemon was accomplished by a simple throw of a Pokeball in a single episode. Like, there could have been really cool things done with this mission. For one, I felt the despair Goh felt after learning of the standings at the Sea Marvel was glossed over. It could have brought some great internal struggles, and we could see Goh trying his hardest to overcome this obstacle. For example, Goh could have failed the first attempted capture on Regieleki, spent a few moments on his own, lamenting in his own failures and letting other challengers to go ahead and try capturing Regieleki for themselves. From there, we could see Goh's Pokemon or even Gary play a role in bringing Goh back on his feet through symbolic actions. Heck, even a simple call from Ash would have done wonders to bring about Goh's character. But instead, they crammed the episode with Shunya and Lila, two really bland characters that gave us a really bland battle. Keep in mind that they clickbaited all of us before with the betrayal at the Sea Marvel. And the whole power of friendship thing between Goh and Gary, like, it was just far too convenient for my taste. I understand it builds on Goh and Gary's relationship, going from Gary giving Goh a hard time to the two becoming closer and ultimately better friends. I respect it, but I didn't like how it was done. It felt abrupt and forced and crammed into a 20-minute episode. And then Goh and Gary just catch Regieleki and Regidrago. That's it. Everything wrapped up conveniently, and Goh's internal despair from the previous trial mission was barely given an acknowledgement. I guess my biggest gripe was that the episode was rushed and the writers really missed a great opportunity. And I believe these instances have happened a lot for Goh, where Ash gets the goal of the Masters 8 from day one with a bunch of trials and tribulations along the way. Goh's goal has been neglected and simply thrown in last minute to justify his existence in Journeys. This makes his achievements feel shallow, forced, and sometimes just wrong. That's why I think Goh gets a lot of hate that I personally don't think he deserves. I don't think it's inherent to his character, but rather just the disrespect from the writers. But of course, please share me your thoughts in the comments down below. I read them all, and my previous video got a lot of great and insightful comments and perspectives. Anyways, let's move on to Ash and what team he will use in the Masters 8. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider. I'm making this video on a vacation trip to a wedding out of the country. That's dedication. Thanks. So Ash's appearance in Journeys episode 113 and the 114 preview gave us an insight to Ash's team for the Masters 8. Episode 113 showed Ash exhausted after an implied difficult training session with his Journeys team. I don't know how you all feel about this, but I think Journeys is making it pretty clear that Ash wants to focus on his Journeys team. But you could argue, in the other regions like Sinnoh and Johto, Ash didn't focus on training his veteran Pokemon before the league. Yes, but Ash was also not back in his home region Kanto either. He was in a foreign region with his new Pokemon. Journeys changes the formula up, letting Ash reside primarily in Kanto, which is quite near the majority of his old Pokemon. Plus, Journeys is sort of an anomaly in comparison to previous iterations of the Pokémon anime, so trends found in the previous anime seasons aren't really the best data to draw conclusions from, in my opinion. So, the real question is whether Ash is bringing his old Pokemon or not. Honestly, as of late, I was thinking it to be very unlikely, but then the preview for Journeys episode 114 showed something absolutely mind-boggling. So, moving on to the Journeys preview for episode 114, Ash's battle against Paul. Ash is using his Journeys team against Paul, except Infernape is right there. So is Charizard. In fact, all of Ash's main fire-type Pokemon are there except Torkoal and Incineroar. This changes everything. I don't think it's wise to let our hopes run high just with this one clip, but it definitely increases the likelihood of Ash's old Pokemon returning for the Masters 8. It shows Ash's old Pokemon training, but even more significantly, training with Ash. Ash is training his Journeys team with his older Pokemon. Either this could mean Ash wants his Journeys team to obtain some experience and insight from his more experienced Pokemon, or Ash is collectively training all of his Pokemon in anticipation that any one of them will be used in the Masters 8. This is exciting news, so we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out when the episode comes out. Anyways, Ash's battle against Paul, who houses 3 Masters 8 aces, is obviously and intentionally done to prepare Ash in his Masters tournament in Journeys episode 115. Therefore, the Pokemon Ash will use against Paul will also be given the necessary screen time to prepare them in the ensuing battles in the Masters tournament. And unfortunately, Ash is using his Journeys team against Paul, so that might make Ash's old Pokemon appearing in this episode to more likely be playing the mentor role, making their return to the Masters 8 tournament less likely. This is just my opinion and speculation, so be sure to share your thoughts. Anyways, I gotta catch some sleep. It's 3 AM and I don't want to be too badly jet lagged. Thanks for watching.